Okay, cool. Welcome back. Today's video, what we're going to do is we're going to look at doing a roof evolution of what we call a half flap. So basically all it is, we're just going to flap this half of the roof forward. All it requires is a couple of relief cuts and cut through the C-pillars. Very good technique where we only have a small amount of roof to manage. So if we've got inclement weather, it's windy, and we want to keep the roof on to the last minute, we can do all the cuts. This will sit here, and when we're ready, it's just a simple flap. As opposed to a full roof flap, we don't have the issues with manual handling, especially if it's windy. As you know, for some full roof flaps, you have issues with the windscreen splintering off on the inside as it folds over. So by this way, all we're doing is managing one section. It won't work on all vehicles, because sometimes the shape of the car when they go in, once you do a half flap, you still, because of the curvature, you still have issues with getting occasionally on a longboard up and out the back of the seat. So some vehicles where it works really well, depending on the shape, as you'll see by flapping half the roof and reclining the seat, which you'll see in a minute, you can actually achieve the same outcome, or if not as good an outcome, as a full roof removal. Again, the technique you do will be dependent on the casualty's predicament, how many casualties you've got, and their type of injuries, etc., and the amount of attention they require. But it's just another tool that can be used as and when the situation requires. It might be worth noting on this vehicle, where we're doing a relief cut here, it has got a curtain airbag. So if you're using crash recovery software or something similar, that would be very useful, because we have the peel and reveal all the way along the inside. And the inflation cylinder was literally just inside the cantrail here, where we're going to cut. Okay, so what we've actually done, this is where the cylinder would have ended up here, just on the inside, and that is directly where we would have done our relief cut. Okay, so what we've done is we've just unbolted it, unclipped the brackets, snipped the wires with some insulated wire cutters, or you can, if you can, unplug it, and we've just moved that out of the way. And what you could do if it's an incident, you can actually remove the whole thing. Again, that will be down to time frames. Don't be messing around with these things if you're not competent and know what you're doing, because obviously there's always a risk. Albeit minimum, it still comes with a little bit of a risk. So we've identified that both sides, we've moved it out of the way. So again, don't just assume the inflation cylinders are the A and C pillars. Investigate, locate where that cylinder is. Also, what you can see, because the roof here has got some creases in it, where it's had a bit of impact. Normally when we're trying to do a roof flap, if you've got any creases or deformation in the roof, it can affect the fold. If you can imagine if you're trying to fold over a piece of paper with loads of creases in it already, it can affect the folding process. Old methods, we used to come there and people would be smashing down things on top of the roof to try and create a crease. We don't want to be doing that anymore, because that's unnecessary noise and shock to the casualty. Sometimes you can get your call, what we have is a Jafco handle, or your key and bar for your hydrant. You just rest it across there with a little bit of downward force, just to create a downward crease here, so that when we fold it, it folds on the crease. Okay? Whereas I can't do that today, what I'm going to be using is a ratchet strap, and I'm going to do it nice and tight along the roof on here, and hopefully that downward force will give us a bit of a crease. And then to show you hopefully how effective it is, I'm going to fold it on my own. Albeit that's because I haven't got any other people here, but hopefully we'll get the flap done and you can see what happens. So I'll do a relief cut here, I'm going to cut through the C-pillars, and we'll fold it forward. Okay, let's see how we get on with that. The relief cuts want to be this side, or the rear side of your B pillar, as close to it as we can. You might or may not be able to see here, but you need to cut through all the reinforcing in the ribbon, otherwise it will make your fold very difficult. So you can see there, we've gone quite far in. might be just worth noting while we're doing this, you can see we've actually extended multiple lengths of hydraulic hose together, so we keep the generator outside, gives us a little bit of less noise. There's a maximum dust strip plate can connect around 5 lengths of hydraulic hose together, maximum 50 metres. Should you need to, so you can have the generator outside, work inside the building without necessary noise or exhaust fumes, etc. Next we'll do these relief cuts with the reciprocating saw. Another relief cuts, the cut through the C-pillars. Wow, see all that vibration there? That's a new carbide tip blade, albeit has been used before. But you can see, standard Peugeot vehicle, a lot of strength from these pillars and a lot of strength from the seam. Old standard car, come through it no problem, but you can see I was working quite a bit there, a lot of shaking, a lot of juddering, a little bit of perseverance, let the blade do the work, don't force it too much. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we'll put the ratchet strap in line where our cuts are. Okay, so we want it on the rear side of the cuts like so. We've got enough downward force there to assist with the crease. What I'm going to do is have a few people either side to fold it over. What we do is, I'll see if I can stand at the back and just lever it over. Not bad at all. Obviously when you're doing it like that, don't just let it fall over there. So you'll have people on this side, so as it comes up, we can receive it, lie down nice and controlled. What you can then do is either undo the ratchet strap, put the ratchet strap over the whole roof and just ratchet the head down, or tie it off so if it does get any bit of wind or a gust, it doesn't go flying anywhere. Cover the whole lot over with sharp sheet, cover up all these sharps. What we'll see here, coming out of the longboard, manage your trim and stuff, cover up your plastics, but here, without all this junk in the way, you can easily longboard someone out of the back with a seat recline. Pros and cons to what I know, but for certain cars it works really well. 4 relatively easy cuts. Managed to do that on my own, so if you've got a full crew of personnel there, a very easy technique to do. It's just one hand of the toolbox for a situation that you might find that works well. Again, nothing's been prepped. We've had a few issues today, but that's what you're going to get in Extrication. Plus we haven't got any casualties or crash damage. So really, relatively simple. And if you've got any thoughts or feedback, please do send it into the website or email me directly. Thanks so much for watching.